Alright guys, today we're getting hit with a bit of a curveball. The boss has disregarded the fact that he hired a fabricator welder for the job and he's throwing you out to the field. You have to fit somebody's whoopsies, Emilio, Jose, Francisco, whoever ran in the wall with a tractor, and now you got to fix his whoopsies. You're getting hit with a gap that's 1/4 of an inch. It's bigger than 1/8, so you know you can't close it with a 1/8 60-10. So you got to get in there and get a little technique. We like to call this one Technic. You chip off the slag on the 70-18. Use it as a filler. I like to use the 60-10. Close it up. Hit it with a downhill because you got less heat, less metal. Once you get that filled up, give it a nice grind, and then hit it with a 70-18 cover pass. Depending on your wall thickness, you want to hit it with a 3/32 or a 1/8. If you have a 1/4 of an inch thickness or 1/8, you want to hit it with a 3/32. If you have a 1/2 inch wall thickness, you can hit it with a 70-18 because you don't have no problems with heatness or burn through, whatever's. But yeah, let's get to it, guys. Here we got a good example of a gap as wide as 1/4 of an inch being welded up by a good old technique known to few as Technic. If you guys pay real close attention, I am using a 60-10 1/8 in diameter rod as a welding rod and a 70-18 1/8 in diameter as a filler rod with no flux. We are performing this method on a downhill position simply because there is less heat being distributed and your keyhole is very manageable. If by any reason you need to stop due to the fact that your metal is overheating or your keyhole is widening up a little too much, go ahead and do so, guys. There is no need to clean the flux or wire wheel it. Remember, guys, this is non-professional. There is no x-ray being performed. All you're trying to do is close that gap. As soon as you are done performing the filling process, go ahead and grind it up, wire wheel it, whatever you have to do, and get that cover pass on. Alright guys, it is time for that cover press, and we will be performing this with a E7018 electrode 3/32 in diameter. And if you guys pay real close attention, I am hardly putting any time on my toes simply because this is just a cover pass on a flat surface. It is mostly for cosmetics. We are hardly getting any reinforcement right here. If you guys are filling up a bevel, of course you guys would like to pause a little more on your toes to reinforce that structure, but in this case we are just focused on cosmetics due to a cover pass. If you guys need to stop and let your metal cool down, go ahead and do so. Just make sure you get that nice restart. Obviously, our 332nd 7018 has ran out of juice, and we will be forced to perform a restart. Do whatever you guys have to do. Chip off that slag, wire brush it, wire wheel it, perform that nice restart, and get that cover pass going. Guys, I cannot emphasize this more. The more you practice your restart, the better your weld looks. So practice them restarts and get them pretty welds going. Well, that includes our cover pass for today, guys. Now you guys know how to repair a broken weld expanded up to 1/4 of an inch. Get out there, kick some butt. Alright guys, this one's sweet and simple. Of course we can't get in there with a 1/8. It's way bigger. It's about a 1/2 an inch of a gap. So found this guy out there in the field. He's a good old little helper. Just gonna bridge this one side to side and use our little helper as a filler. Sweet and simple. Technic performed at its finest. In a flat position, we are using a 1/8 7018 as a welding rod and a 1/4 of an inch regular mild steel rod found out in the field. You can use practically anything, just clean it up to reduce the amount of contamination. If you guys take a quick observation, you will realize that we have eliminated our drag travel technique and applied a push travel technique. This helps us with our filler rod application. And another thing to keep in mind, we are bridging the gap, hardly spending any time in the middle and pausing a little bit to not much on the toes. Sometimes it does make sense to pause a little more on the toes. Just do not go too close to the edge. A little, maybe like a 1/8 of an inch far away from the edge. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. Of course, this is not professional, guys. This is just getting by. We all get those welding jobs out in the field that are non-professional. They just need a quick repair. And there you guys have it.